Hello everyone and welcome to my second Phyrexia All Will Be One draft. And the rare is, I would say, a pretty choosy one if you can get the opponent to the corrupted status. Because, of course, you will get endless 1/1s, but only one per turn, and you will pay one life point for each. But this corrupted ability says that each creature that I have with Toxic has lifelink, and if other creatures already have a lifelink, it's gonna be easier to, to cover for the life loss. I definitely think this is a card worth first picking and drafting a little bit around, assuming white will be open, of course. There's the divination variant, quite good at that. I mean, when this costs 1 mana, it's a really good effect. This is not so bad for an edict because you can specify non-token creature. The fuseling can be quite good. Yeah, I think the rare is still just easily the best card in the pack, so let's take the Skrell's Hive there. This rare, completely unplayable and limited. It doesn't do anything. This one is not a good one. I mean, it can be a good one if you really either care about proliferating a lot or ramping to some high mana cost creatures, because there are some 7 mana bombs in this set, for example. But yeah, I'm not going to take it, of course. Now the Noxious Assault is, I think it's not necessarily great, but I could see playing it in some decks. The best green card here is the Contagious Vorak. So if I would take a green card, I would take that. I like the Complete Devotion, because it's a nice trick that draws you a card quite easily. Now you could just take the Blightbelly Rat, so I mean, it's a toxic 2-drop, which goes well with the Skrell's Hive. I guess I'll take that. I mean, it's not a strong back. The best card was the green 3-drop for sure, but I wanted to kind of try this kind of an all-out toxic thing, which, this pack doesn't really allow me to do. The best card is the Evolving Adaptive here, so now I'm a little bit sad about not taking the green card there, because of course this is the peak here. I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to take like the Mandible just this year. If this has toxic value, of course, then, but yeah, this is not a very good pack, so I'm just taking the best card here. Okay, so I don't see any white toxic stuff. I don't actually see any black toxic stuff either. This thing, another artifact. Okay, you get to loot for a 4 mana 2/4, and this last ability is really gonna be too relevant. Okay, not a good one in this. I mean, looting is nice when it doesn't cost extra mana, but this is a 4 mana 2/4, which is a bad stat line for that. So I think I'm gonna take the Lattice Blade Mantis here, because this is really good 4-drop. You can attack as a 5/4, and it will be blocking for a couple of times. And if you can have more oil counters on it, that'll be even better, of course. Right, and I have the green card here, so I should take this. And of course, now I really wanted this guy to be that green 3-drop, because it doesn't seem like black will be a color I'm drafting here. Although, what is my second color? Because I don't actually see a lot of red either. So it's not like I can be a red-green oil deck here. You could take something like a long legs, but I don't currently know if I'm that interested in proliferating. I guess both of these green cards have oil counters, so there's that, but I could take the Ripskiff. I mean, if I'm playing green, I'm going to have some toxic creatures. A lot of the green creatures have, toxic values. Maybe I'll take the cantrip. I don't know. I already have a 4-drop here, but it's just a quite weak pack. All right, so there's okay. So I see some black toxic stuff. Actually, 2 fine 2-drops. The Vraska's Fall is 3 mana Edict. Opponent might have something very easy to sacrifice, the might tokens, or the white 1-drop that dies into a might token. This can be a bit risky, but can be a nice sideboard card too. Anyway, if I'm taking a black card, which I think I am, I will take one of these. Do I want to have a flying poison producer? This is better at blocking the opponent's stuff. This is better at dealing poison damage. I guess if I'm green, I will have a lot of ground guys, so I'm gonna take the flying toxic thing here. And here, I'm just a fan of these things. I'll take it. I had very was it in my first draft when I have had this? Because I have had actually a couple of premier drafts when I just wanted to rank to platinum for this month, and I wasn't really in a position to record my drafts because my voice was like almost completely gone. So I played a couple of premier drafts too, because in every month I go to platinum rank, even though I otherwise don't play premier drafts. Alright, so I had this at least in either, if it wasn't in my previous draft that I recorded, at least in one of the premier drafts, and it was really good. So. And I think I had this in the recorded draft, maybe. Alright, so here there is this guy. Well, I mean, if I don't have any multicolored spell myself, then this is like a strict upside 2-mana 3-1 that might draw me a card, like, in 1% of games. But I actually just like the Terramorphic Expanse here. It allows me to splash, it allows me to, fix my mana, even if I'm just 2 colors. And I do like the Hunter, these common sphere lands, but I think I prefer my first Terramorphic Expanse over those things. Okay, so now I see some blue here. This Quicksilver Fisheries, like, okay. It's funny because like 15 years ago this would have been an amazing. Sorry, no, this is a 5-drop. No. Well, I guess it would have still been a good one in 15 years ago, but yeah. 5 mana 4/3 flyer is not nowadays that amazing. I could take this guy, but you know what? I'm just taking the expanse. That at least allows me to splash any bomb I might open. Maybe I should continue with that, taking the Phyrexian Atlas. It is adding any color of mana. I mean, it's better than this thing because it costs both kind of ramp. This can ramp you a little bit more, but this is gonna cost more 1 mana fewer. So I'm gonna take the Atlas. I have a splashing capacity. Now I just need to actually get some good cards. Should I take a Thirsting Roots here too? I can play it in place of a land. Titanic Growth and the Engulfer. I have a 6-drop too, so that's maybe I actually should. Okay, you know what? I can try something weird with having a couple of these 6-drops. Both have these trample, so they are quite massive guys. This format is really aggressive though, so I don't think I care about the Lightbringer in a green-white deck. I'll just take the uncommon. I don't care about those, and I can take a long legs. I'm gonna pass the Vanish here. I actually prefer to have a 2-drop here now. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, this format is very aggressive, so playing multiple 6-drops can be really risky. But if I can, I mean, I already have one way to ramp my mana. Now all I need is the green 1-drop that can put oil counters on it, and then I untap lands with the oil counters, and that's another form of ramping that's available at common. I don't really want to play multiple of these Atlases because that's really not such a good card. But I might want to test this kind of unorthodox stuff here right off the bat when the format is quite new, when everyone is trying to just curve out. Of course, I will have to have defensive curve out still. I can't not play spells early in the game. This is producing colorless mana. I don't think I care about oil counters enough. I don't know about my second color. This is the best card in the pack. I have no idea about my second color. I guess I'll take the Skitterling because it is a good defensive card if I wanna, actually survive until my 6 drops. And also I play green, so I might be, corrupting the opponent. This is not a card that I will be playing if I'm not being able to corrupt the opponent quite reliably, because 3 mana 1/4 isn't really worth playing, I don't think. Hexgold Slash. Now there is a good removal spell, and I have many ways to splash. Maybe I just should now take advantage of me, picking the couple of Terramorphic Expanses and the Atlas, and I can, pick any single caster removal. This pack also has the Ambulatory Edifice, which is actually quite decent too. I'm just not sure if I'm gonna be even black here. I don't think I'm gonna be white. So the rare first pick might go to waste. I'm gonna take the Hexgold Slash. It's an easy thing to splash here. Okay, Malcator. Not gonna splash a white-blue card though. unless I am green-white or green-blue, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Now there is a rust vine cultivator here. There is also a volt charge. Okay, so this is what I was thinking about with these 2 6-drops, but I'm gonna just take that removal. I can easily splash. I guess I could still, transform into just a straight up green red deck, but let's take the volt charge for now. I'm kind of feeling like putting all these black and white cards to my sideboard, but we'll see. Because green seems to be the only color that's really open. Now this is, if you have a lot of proliferating, maybe you can do something with this, but you will need to draw more than 2 cards to be happy about it. And I think a 3rd card will be very slow, so I don't think this is a very decent card. Duelist of Deep Fate, that would be a good 2-drop, but I have these green 2-drop options too. I mean, the other one is a 1-drop, of course. I should maybe take the Stalker here. Maybe I'm gonna get the Cultivator later. I don't necessarily want to play multiple of those. So let's take the 2-drop, which at least can block nicely. Alright, so how about here? Another Hex Gold Slash. I don't even need the Copperline Gorge now. I would still, of course, take it if that was if there wasn't any better options here. Because, just making more reliable splash is always nice, but I'm gonna take the 2nd Hex Gold Slash. The fact these deal 4 damage to toxic creatures and people are playing a lot of toxic creatures is, pretty valuable. There are 4-drop common toxic creatures that have 4 toughness from both white and green, for instance. And also black, actually, so this is really good value, getting rid of those for just 1 mana. Okay, Tyrannax Atrocity. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut the black. Now I just need to... Don't think I'm gonna splash the Skrill's Hive. I'm not sure I like this like later in the game. It's still fine maybe. But I'm gonna just take the Atrocity. I have some, 1 card to ramp with so far, but... Yeah, I'm gonna take the expensive thing here. Sacrifice an artifact or creature. Yeah, well, I guess I have something to sacrifice. Maybe I should try it, because I'm actually thinking that, the oil Gorget troll might not have enough oil things. I really want to draw a card for this thing. Let's try this. I want to try it. It's kind of nasty to sacrifice a big thing, but then again, I have like the Ripskiff. I can sacrifice it already drew my card, and the Phyrexia Atlas might be unnecessary later in the game, so I could see sacking those and dealing with multiple low toughness creatures. Yeah, this is not looking very well. I don't know what I was supposed to do in this draft. Let's take the 5-drop now, but I just don't think there was a really clear, route here in this draft. I know I could take these 4 mana 4/2, leaves me the equipment. I don't care about the Noxus Assault in this kind of deck. I just take the 2nd Engulfer and let's go like mad with this stuff. I really hope to have now the ramping 1-drop, because I need with 3 6-drops. That's actually going to be important. No, not really. Plague Nurse. I don't think I even care about it that much. I have a couple of 4-drops. I'm just gonna take the land here. Another Atlas, maybe not. I'd rather take the 1-drop. How about this thing? I don't know. I guess I can take a 3-drop here. Because this could be just a red-green reg. I could have more ways to splash, but it's actually unnecessary at this point, because... I'll just take this thing. Because, I don't think that one either. I didn't really get anything that's splash-worthy. I don't think the Skrill's Hive is that splash-worthy after all. Now, this is a good ramp option. There's the Conduit of Worlds, which I'm pretty sure I had in my recorded draft, didn't I? I did. I'm pretty sure. Now that can do some nice work, but I have already good late game stuff like the 3/6 drop for to start with. And all I will care about having now is something to ramp with. Although the viral spawning is really decent. Although it's not, it's a 3 mana 3/3 toxic one. I can corrupt the opponent for this flashback, but this is just more important here. I don't think I can pick anything else than the 2 mana, you know, ramp thing, which is really, because I also need 2 drops here. Okay. Okay, what's this? There's the rebuke. This, by the way, choose one or both. It's pretty nice to both kill a creature and equipment, but I'm not gonna take a 5 mana card. Not right now. There is the Phyrexia Silex. Am I supposed to try it? Now, in a red-green deck, because you can remove 10 oil counter from any permanents you control, not just this thing. Of course, it would be horrible if this thing had to have the 10 oil, but okay, let's try this. You know, I'm gonna try these weird rares. I don't think it's that good, but I'm willing to try stuff that I have because it's really early in the format. So it can, you know, just deal a couple of. It can deal maybe kill opponents, 2 opposing, or just 1 opposing early drop. This after all costs only 2 mana. It might take some time to ramp to 3 or so, but this can 1-for-1 remove something unless I have something of the same mana value myself too. But this has the potential to deal 10 to any target, which of course will be quite good. Now, am I supposed to take the Chimney Rabble here? Or am I supposed to take... I could take the Cackler, but I guess I'll take the 3, you know, the 4 mana 3 drop that... Sorry, 4 mana 3/3 that comes also with a token. Ichor Spit Basilisk would be worth considering here. Defensive thing. Yeah, I think I like this Death Touch Toxic one better than the Reach 1/3. Alright, let's do it. Alright. I guess I'll take a 2-drop also. It has some oil which matters for the Silex. Oh, there's an Ichorplate Golem though. I just, sadly, while I am a little bit of a red-green deck, I'm not exactly an oil deck, so this is not gonna pump that much. I think I'll just take a 2-drop because I do believe I need 2 drops here. Let's see now. Yeah, definitely. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 now 2 drops. I could still take 2 more. Let's take the sideboard card here. I mean, I like the Canopy more than the Molten Rebuke. I have enough expensive cards. Okay, well, there is... oh man. I mean, there's some stuff to ramp into. I in the end didn't get the 1-drop. I guess I was supposed to take the 1-drop ramping thing. At least I got the Scrap Gorger. Okay, fine. I'll take another 6-drop rather than a 7-drop. It is a big difference between 6 and 7. So I'll just take another of those. So I have now 4 6-drops. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play all of that, but we'll see. Alright, so here... I think the red is gonna be a splash, so I'm not going to take a red 1-drop. I'll take the Molten Rebuke here. Could take the Mantle, but I guess I'll take the Rebuke. Very expensive stuff in here. Okay, so 3 mana 3/3 is decent, and this, we know, has the option to become a flashback spell. But yeah, I'm just happy to have a 3 mana 3/3 just to keep the defenses up. And anything cheap? Well, not exactly. There's a cheap artifact removal spell, or I could just take another land. I guess I might play like 18 lands in this deck easily, with, you know, 3 of these lands that cannot be sacked for cards. So I don't care about. I don't fear flooding out. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, well, I don't think I need a 5th 6-drop, unless I want to sideboard one in. I'll just take this card, which is so good that it isn't supposed to be in the draft anymore. Alright, I'll take the Restoration. I don't need the Thirsting Roots for anything. I think this will be an 80-land deck, yeah. And I got the Gleeful Demolition. This wouldn't be the worst, but I guess it's not for this deck. I'm gonna just rely on these expensive creatures. Play 18 lands, and at least I have a couple of cheap removal spells. Yeah, if in the pack one I got the Vorak, I would be so happy, because it also, you know, is likely to fetch your land. Hitting your land drops until 6 will be important in this deck. Alright, so this is now Now that I cut the lands, this is 25 cards, so I do mean it when I said I'm playing 18 lands. I mean, if I'm playing all these 6 drops, 18 lands, especially because 3 of them, can be used to draw cards, it's not a bad idea. And I'm still playing the Phyrexia Atlas, and of course I'm going to play this thing because this is just amazing. Right, so the cuts. This is also decent defensively, giving me a 3/3 and a 1/1 for 4 mana to block with. Of course, this has haste, so I can also be aggressor with it. But this deck really just wants to get to, enough mana to cast those things. How many creatures I have? 13 plus equipment, because both the equipment are creatures too. So that's 15 creatures. Plus I have also a sorcery that gives me a creature. So that's like 16, I think, unless I forgot something else. So my removal is the Volt Charge, couple of Hex Gold Slashes, nothing from green. There are those, the Epic Confrontation, but that was the card's name in the Brothers War. This has a strictly identical card with a different name, this set too. But anyway, I didn't got them. I think the Furnace Skull Bomb is... I don't need any cantripping artifacts when I'm already playing 18 lands, so... and I don't need oil that much. It has some very nice, targets for the oil. For example, the adaptive. If I had, let's say, 2 evolving adaptives, that would be a big reason to play one of these skull bombs, because, it's a pretty nice boost for those guys. I can't cut any of 2 drops because. And how about Nahiri's Sacrifice? Now that is something. That's also a removal spell. Now. The Nahiri Sacrifice is actually quite decent with the 6 drops. Let's see, I play one of these Engulfers and the opponent pacifies it. Okay, I kind of want to try this Sacrifice. I can still sacrifice, a 3 drop or something. How about this guy? So this is a 3 mana 3/2, not good defensively. This is mostly an offensive creature, but of course it has one thing going on, which is, adding oil for the Silex, but I don't think I'm gonna build around the Silex too much. Plus another thing which I was talking about, I will have only a splash for the red. I guess I can play the 4-drop red card, but I'm not going to play the Centurion. Now this would mean one more card. How many... No, actually I might be interested in the life gain a little bit, but man, I really want to draw the card with this thing. I guess I can just oil counter. Does that do the trick? Yeah, I guess these are all the cards that, get all counters. Now that I cut the Skull Bomb, because that of course works too. Yeah, I think this is pretty easy now. I can play the Rebuke after all, because I have, removal for small things in the Volt Charge and the Hex Gold Slash. Although I guess this kills some bigger toxic things, even the Tyrannax Atrocity. But it's nice to have maybe the 5 damage removal spell here. And the Nahiri Sacrifice is not very reliable in dealing, a massive amount of damage. So I'm going to cut the Troll here. This leaves me at 13? I think it's 14 creatures still. Yeah, I don't know about the Silex though. I'm having second thoughts about this, but I wanted to try it. It is a 2-drop that I can use to deal with. So let's say if I don't have any other 2-drop in my starting hand, and the opponent usually will, because people should play a lot of 2-drops in this format, then at least this, with a little bit of a delay, deals with the opposing 2-drops. Okay, I will try it, and I will sideboard it out. For example, if I need to play the Gleeful Demolition or the Canopy or something like that. Although I could just play like an Unnatural Restoration too. Is there anything I really want to have back? Don't actually think. Anything cheap at least. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. Alright. This is it. 18 lands now. So I don't need a lot of red. I already have 3 red sources here. Basically 4. Well, kind of 5 if you count this thing, but this gets removal often, so let's not count on that guy. Well, I mean, I can play it like a... I do want to have these up early in the game because these are one of my ways to, if I don't have a 2-drop creature, I can have an Hexgold Slash to deal with the opposing start so that I don't get to fall behind. So it is important to have enough red sources to have a quite reliable Hexgold Slash up early in the game. So let's put like now this would be 8 for red, and then of course if the rest remaining lands would be forests, that would be 12 for green. I have some double casters, but with 12 it shouldn't be a problem. I think the 8 for red is a little bit too much. Then again, I don't think I need 13 for green. Most of the time, once I reach 4 mana with this land setup, I mean, the kind of the worst thing that could be is that at 4 lands, I have 3 red sources, 3 mountains, because no, this is actually not a mountain anyway. But 3 red producing lands, 1 green producing land. That could be a problem when I want to cast multiple green spells in a turn. But I think with this amount of green, and also this thing adds any color, yeah, it's fine. That's it. I am going to use this deck. It looks very weird, and this is just a kind of a test that can you play a deck that has this many 6-drops. I think I might have just about enough early stuff, but man, if I just had to I took the Blightbelly Rat over the Warrock, the green 3-drop, 3 mana 3/3 that can get me a land from the top. How many cards? That would be a perfect kind of card just to trade with any early drop from the opponent, and while making sure I hit land drops until my big stuff. But oh well, that's the deck now. Okay, let's see if I get run over. I will be at least on the draw in the first game, but at least the one good thing about best of 3 matches is that you will be, unless you are winning the match 2-0 and lost the die roll, which is good if you win the match, but you at least have one game where you can be on the play. In premier drafts and quick drafts, of course, you can have like a massive streak, like 5 games back to back where you are on the draw. It can be a little bit frustrating. It is still frustrating to be on the draw in the game 1 of each best of 3 match, but at least you will have some opportunities to be on the play when you lose a game. Okay, well, kinda nasty, but then again, because of course this is if I don't draw anything that does something earlier in the game, I'm gonna be dead when the Chimney Rabble enters. But I'm quite likely to hit these guys turn 6 because I only need to draw 2 more lands in the meanwhile. And this at least gives me 2 blockers too. So I'm willing to keep this with the understanding that if I don't draw my early drops and the opponent curves out like they should, this can just be lost on spot. But I have, of course, a lot of 1, 2, and 3 mana cards in the deck. I am not going to be able to do the exact math to figure out what is the actual likelihood to draw one of them in, let's say, first 3 draw steps. But I'm going to say it's gonna be quite high. I mean, it's gonna be like 80+% to draw some action by turn 3 latest. Of course, it's not ideal to miss plays on turns 1 and 2 when you are on the draw. But let's see what the opponent does. They at least seem to be doing not much of anything here. They have to actually make a land drop before this timer runs out. Okay, opponent. You have to do it now. Few seconds only. Hey, are they having some connection problems? Because this is gonna be so bad for them. So I am on the play after all. I don't need... I'm gonna get the forest now, but I think I'm gonna get second mountain too, because I do have this one red mana spells, so I can see, even though I don't have a lot of red spells, I can still see a possibility for me wanting to cast 2 red spells in the same turn cycle, and I of course don't really need 3 green that much for anything. But of course, opponent just, you know, missed their land drop. I'm going to pause this. This might just, I mean, if they time out, they're gonna lose the entire match in one go. But let's see. I'm gonna pause the recording, I mean. Okay, it seems like I'm handing it a free win. Oh, on the last possible moment, the opponent played a land and a spell, but they still had to miss their turn 1 entirely. So this is, of course, very good for me. Okay, so now I can start doing stuff with the selection here. Just gonna... I mean, this can kill 0, I mean, tokens, but I'm gonna just put a counter just to save some time. So at 1, I can kill this. So the opponent, even if they have another 1-drop, they are not gonna do. They might kill the Silex with that thing. Oh, they can actually sack the Lookout, although in that case they should have attacked first. But they can sack any creature to destroy an artifact. They chose to. They want to have the 1/2 flyer rather than the 2/2 ground guy. That was a fine trade because this is all I wanted. That my 2-drop is actually going to be able to, you know, trade with their 2-drop, and I don't even have to take any damage from their 2-drop. So now that was all the action I needed here. Of course, it's super helpful that the opponent gave me the, you know, the being on the play part. But all right, well, I haven't drawn any lands for the 6-drops, and now I drew 2 5-drops here too. So this could still be bad. I'm gonna start with the haster because they are gonna have something. Maybe it's the, you know, proliferating deal 3. It's an instant because it kills this one too, and I'd rather them kill the 3/3 than the 4/3 that is a, you know, more massive threat. Okay, that was a Hex Code Slash, which is not enough. Okay, yeah, that's not opponent how you play. No, well, good for them. I don't actually draw my lands, but of course once I do, I have endless gas in this game, and the opponent isn't pressuring me at all. Yeah, they just took a 2 for 1. They should have just taken the 3 damage there. Now, okay, this is so ugly now. This can be a 5/4 attacker, so of course that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Take action. So they just have to take 9 damage unless they jump block, which they did. And game is basically over now. They are missing no plays, and they skipped turn 1, and I have all this now. That isn't gonna do much. It's gonna do enough that it allows them to trade with one of these guys. Unless I'm gonna Molten Rebuke this thing. I mean, I could just play the Spider Spawning. Without the Spawning, it would be easy Molten Rebuke in here. But I don't think it's worth it. I can save this against something even nastier. Or maybe they are red-white. They could easily have a lot of equipment too. So it is worth just doing this and letting them trade with. They have to lose both of their creatures after all, so this is good trade for me. They are already corrupted from the 1 attack, so this spawning is actually online now. And now of course my 6-drops are online, so what is the mass removal? What are the mass removal options in this set? Are there mass removal options? There is the white planeswalker, yeah, the Wandering Emperor. It's not Wandering Emperor, anyway, the same person, but it costs 6 mana. Okay, so how to do this? This no longer gets any oil, so it's just, I mean, I'll just push through here. I can just keep adding massive creatures onto the battlefield. I don't care about the trades, and they are just jumping. I guess at 10 they should maybe consider jumping, but of course this is all. I just keep pushing with my expensive stuff. That's of course when you play 4 6-drops, you are often not gonna run out of them. Okay, this rebuke deals with both of those things, but I might just win with this. Yeah, they don't even care about. Of course, this has trample, so they are. Even if I have nothing, they will take. They will trade with a 3/3, and they will take 7 going down to 3, and I have still a 6/6 trampler and all that. Plus this, you know. All right, well, they are red-white. I saw a couple of artifacts, maybe not the kind of artifacts I'm that excited about killing, but I do have the couple of these Gleeful Demolitions. These are 1 mana destroy an artifact. And sometimes I might even choose to kill my own, you know, Phyrexian Atlas to get 3 tokens. Not a Or maybe even the Silex. I don't know about that though, because I think the Silex kills at least these, these 0 mana tokens. Yeah, I guess the Silex can just trade with one of the things, and I might be just happy enough with that. Is the oil gauge troll actually useful here? Because I do realize that it's a very good blocker on these hasters and gaining the 3 life always. I'm actually thinking about having that as a defensive option here. I still want to play the Rebuke here though. What would be the cut? I think the Silex would be the cut, but again, it is one of my early drops. Nihilist Sacrifice can deal with... Do I see a lot of low toughness creatures? Actually, no, not really. I'm gonna on the draw cut the Nihilist Sacrifice and have the Troll instead. That's my sideboarding. I don't think I need a Demolition. So I'll just do it like this. Oh man, I do actually have early drops in the deck. This is not a keep. I mean, this is 2 5 drops. I can go to 6. But I still have trouble finding my early. I have 2 mana creatures, I have 2 1 mana removal spells. I have a 1 mana creature too, and I have 3 mana plays. Alright, well, the least... I guess the Ripskiff, even though it draws a card, crewing it is a pain here. I'd rather play the Lattice Blade Mantis, so let's cut that one. And let's draw some early drops. Okay, thank you. That's perfect. That would be a turn 3 Mantis if they... That's not a bad one either, because now if they deal with the Scrap Gorger, I will still be able to play the Atlas, allowing me to play this on turn 4, but maybe they don't deal with it. They don't, so I can do this right away. This thing has Ward 2, so not gonna be that easy to kill it. If I hit a land drop on the next turn, I can play the Atlas and this and the land, of course, and then that would allow me to play this on turn 5, but we'll see. Should I just... This is such a nice aggressive card, but I'm gonna take some damage from this thing. I can use a Rebuke on this. I think because of my late game here, I'm just gonna block here, not take any extra damage here. And also that allows this thing to start growing, because this thing doesn't get the counters if there's nothing in the graveyards. Okay, no land, but it's fine. I can play this, and yeah, this is fine. Still get to add to my board, and I'm going to eat their Lightbringer and add 3 oil counters. Yeah, this becomes a 3/3. So only one other thing needs to go to the graveyard. Okay, land is really good. So do I want to get rid of the fly? I guess I can in the end get rid of both of them. This will proliferate. I don't sadly have any poison now, so I can't really go to corrupted status. This would, do something extra with corrupted status here. Now the mana efficient play here is just to play the Molten Rebuke, but I would kind of want to save it when they have an artifact. I'm not going to sack this, of course, because I can play this on the next turn. I have a reach creature, so the Raptor isn't that nasty right now. So what I'm gonna do here is just I could be sneaky here. Okay, let's try. Let's try if they're gonna go for it. I mean, there's no reason for them to block a 0/3, but this is actually something that, because I can now eat my own thing from my graveyard. It has 2, and I can proliferate into a 3/3, but I mean, why would they ever block an 0/3? Yeah, makes no sense. But I mean, it was still, of course, I was still attacking here because I will deal 3 damage, and I don't need the mana for anything. And I have now a reach guy on there. Flyer here, and I have my 6-drop now online. Okay, let's see if they have some trick. I'm happy to trade with this guy. No, nothing. Okay then. I think I might just trade with the Lightbringer. There's no... I mean, this already did all the work it needs because I drew a land, so... Yeah. Let's do it. I guess I do have my Phyrexia Silex, and of course the oil here is relevant for the, you know, removing 10 of that. But whatever, I like to keep the board quite clear now because I have this massive guy coming. This, you know, also has reach, by the way. And it can't be blocked by flying creatures. That is also a funny thing. Now, because... yeah, I can draw a card with this if I draw more lands. There's the halberd, so now I can get rid of the flyer and the halberd. Not that it's too relevant. They have... this is not a stat boost equipment. Okay, they have no attacks. Why would they attack into 6-5? Alright, I mean, I already blocked with the 1-3 on the previous turn. Oh, whatever. And I drew my second 6-drop. Yeah, this opponent is giving me a bit easy time here now. And they are, you know, almost considered with jump blocking only 2 damage because it also has trample. Yeah. This is maybe giving a little bit too... I mean, this deck isn't quite that good. This is clearly opponent maybe having a little bit suboptimal plays. Maybe... I don't know about suboptimal card choices, because of course this thing is really good. The Aspirant is good, and the Lightbringer isn't bad when you have a lot of equipment. The +1/+1 boost will be quite nice, and the Ward 2 is always a welcome bonus. So I don't think I saw any bad cards from them, but they definitely made a few play mistakes. Plus they missed the return 2 in the first game. Okay, well, I have a 3-drop here. 5 lands, but also one of my 6 drops. I'm on the play, fine. Not an ideal curve out, but it's fine. This is a very nice defensive card, and this is gonna be a very nice turn 6 play. It's quite unlikely that I wouldn't be... Opponent is mulliganing, by the way. Quite unlikely that I would draw 0 lands by turn 6. I'll just get my forest. I have 2 mountains here already, so let's speed up the game a little bit. Okay. I mean, I'm not sad about that. I assume I'm not gonna draw all the... I could still draw 2 6-drops, but then the card after that can't be a 6-drop anymore. Then it has to be either a land or a castable spell. They have this Skull Bomb, alright. Okay, Silex. I'd rather play my 3-drop here. This thing having reach is actually quite nice, because often when you have these massive ground guy tramplers, you are a little bit vulnerable to opposing flyer tactics. With this thing, when you play this guy, you are kind of protected against most flyers. And then you can, you know, the opponent has to hold back their flyers, and then on your turn, when you are able to attack with this, you can assess whether you can outrace the flyers or not. Charge of the Mites. Why would you play an instant on your own turn? I'm not... I could actually kill these Mites if I really wanted to. But they might give, you know, the +3/+3 on one of them, but then I take 1 poison. I don't think it matters. It's just so much more mana efficient to play the Ripskiff here. But this sacrifice each non-permanent mana. Yeah, with 0 oil counters, it will kill these guys. Hey, maybe they will get more tokens. I'm gonna play the Ripskiff and leave this guy to block. That's not bad either. If I want to have, for example, this thing can in fact crew this, and I still have a 1/1 to block with. Funnily, I have drawn now. Well, one of the cards was a Terramorphic Expanse fetch, but I still have drawn 4 cards, and none of them was in fact a land yet. Okay, let's see what they have. This has Death Touch, so if they have like a combat trick, they still lose their own guy. Okay, I mean, if this guy dies now, I'm happy. It already did some work. I guess they just really wanted to push some poison on me, but I'm not too concerned. They killed the Ripskiff, but I already drew a card from it. That I call a good value. Am I actually not gonna get my 6-drop on turn 6 when I kept a... Wasn't it a 5-lander? I think it was. Anyhow, I'll just rather get the aggression going on. I think I'm going to leave the 1/1 to block. Although they might use this annoying thing, but I kind of want to do that, you know, give them a poison. I have some corrupted things in my deck, and I have some proliferation too, so it's kind of valuable to make them have oh, this doesn't have haste, so yep, only this guy has. So it's valuable to give them the 1 poison here now, and if they really want to use 3 mana to push some additional damage, I mean, well, that of course, but an additional poison counter, I'm totally fine with that. Otherwise, I'm just also happy to block with my 1/1. It was kind of free anyway. Okay, they can return the land, I suppose. Well, that too, yeah. Now they have a 3/4 which blocks my guys, but I have a little bit bigger creatures coming up. Wow. So I actually was able to not draw any lands after keeping a 5-lander, which is usually very good. Of course, with these 6-drops I would have preferred to have 1 land. Now, they can push some damage with this guy. I think I'll just well, I will be playing the Mantis here. Now I could kill all tokens, but it will kill my token too. I can double block the 3. If they don't, this is a sorcery speed activation, of course, so if they don't use it, I can just block with the 3/3 and a 1/1. I kind of think I want to just push for more poison. There's like a small chance I'm actually winning with poison, and look at this, they're gonna make that trade. Okay, now that is very acceptable. I guess they figured that they can't push through the 3/3 and the 1/1, so they might as well get rid of my Death Toucher, because this will trade with anything. They might have an even bigger creature. They didn't want to, you know, have this around, so that I can just easily block it. Okay, that's pacified, and now they can push through with one of the mites. I'm not even corrupted yet. I will go to 2 poison. Only 2 poison. Okay, this thing is a reason to... Well, first of all, it's good to have a Nahiri's Sacrifice in your deck. When you have, you know, when the opponent has pacify effects. But also I can sideboard in some Enchantment Hate. I have actually at least, I mean, only one of those. Okay, this is a 6th mana for the next turn. Then I can cast my 2-drop. I could still, you know, kill these with the Silex, but it doesn't make any sense. I am going to leave this 1/1 to block. I'd rather not be corrupted, so I'm gonna leave 2 blockers here, just to prevent, I mean, at least forcing the opponent to do something about these blockers. If they want to deal the 3rd point of. poison. But of course now I have these 6 drops. Assuming they don't kill the Atlas. Okay, they have their own Death Toucher. Which is fine. They might actually block the Rabble with it. There is the Nahiri's Sacrifice. Now I could actually kill the Basilisk and one of the tokens, but I don't think it's worth it. I could play the Silex post-combat, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm going to just play a 6-drop here. That's what I wanna do. You can also sacrifice an artifact to this thing, so also the battle chair counts. And this is exactly what I wanted to happen. They might have a way to save it. They don't. So let's give them something else to worry about. It is actually funny, I kept the 5-lander and I still haven't. I'm pretty sure it was a 5-lander, wasn't it? Or was it only 4 lands? It could have been a 4-lander too, but I think it might have been even 5. So I actually have drawn only non-lands, which is, you know, of course very good. Well, especially because one of the non-lands was able to give me the 6th mana. Okay, more Death Touch. Okay, that's something I'm going to deal with in Nahiri's Sacrifice now, of course, because I don't want to lose this. I mean, it's only a 2/2 token, but moving around this thing, it costs 7 mana, so that's not really what I want to be doing. So, let's say this is a 4-drop, right? Yeah. And these things will be affected like this. And I'm gonna sack this. Let's see if they have a way to save the Basilisk. At least that's the final card in their hand. So. Okay. That will still remain a mystery. I'm going to just well, that can't block anyway, so no point playing the Silex here right now. I still want to have a blocker for them. I guess I'm gonna have the 1/3 to block. Although, no, I wanna... No, this doesn't have the toxic. No, that guy died already, so yep. Let's leave the 1/3 to block. Now, if I blow this up now, it will also mean that this 2/2 token dies. So I don't think I'm gonna do that. But there's like a... You know, maybe they target this with something massive. They're gonna get rid of the creature, not... Oh man, opponent. That is so horrible. They got rid of the 2/2 token. They could have used 3 mana to get rid of the battle chair, but hey. What can I say? Sometimes this is what happens in traditional draft. The opponent definitely could have played it better. Just played land. That is a lethal attack now. So they could have actually gotten rid of the +4/+4. It's not like, you know, if that was the only thing they had, they were still losing. But that was still the wrong target for the spell. Okay, so I saw a pacifism. This thing deals with the pacifism. Well, whatever the card's name is. The card's name is Planar Disruption. So, yeah, of course, these won't deal with anything else than artifacts. I don't think I saw artifacts I'm interested in killing. Nope. But there is the one pacifism. But did I see a flyer here? I did not. So the only target for this thing that I saw is the one pacifism. It's not really worth it. Not worth having it. How about anything else? They are green-white. They have a couple of these 1/3 Death Touchers. They have the 3/4 Charge of the Mites. They have a main deck canopy. I have a few targets for it. I don't think I care about this thing that much. How about the restoration? Now I think this is fine. This is not good against the 3-4, but then again I might be a little bit more interested in blocking until I get these expensive big hitters. So I'm not going to do any changes, at least now. Maybe if it goes to game 3, that's always an option to steal sideboard more. Okay, well this is good enough, because I can play the vital spawning on turn 3 and then maybe this on... Oh, they let me go first. Oh, that's better. If I draw land, I can have the Ripskiff. If I don't, well, I can at least play the Atlas, but I did. And this of course gives me the red mana if I happen to draw my red spells. That's... I mean... I think, opponent, you might prefer to be on the play when you have opportunity for this kind of 2-drop. I would have taken 2 poison already if they were on the play. Maybe I still do if they get rid of this guy. Okay, that's... I'm gonna trade with that, but I have the Ripskiff here. So let's see, I'm gonna play the Ripskiff now. I can trade with that. Yeah, well, thing is, I'm of course going to... Well, they can't attack with the... See, this doesn't have death touch. So now this is good. I can crew the Ripskiff with my guy. So of course I'm going to trade the 4-4 vehicle instead of the 3-3 guy now. It would be nice to get them to corrupted status, but it's not actually that relevant. I have this secondary game plan involving these 6-drop tramplers anyway. But yeah, this would be good with corrupted, and this would be good with... Well, I mean, this would be good with corrupted. Okay, so they fly now. So this says that whenever another creature with toxic attacks... Yeah, okay, well, I take out 2 poison, there's nothing... They are not gonna attack with the basilics, they want to block, alright. So now they have a 3-drop, 3-drop, and 2-drop, which is too much time to deal with the Silex here. So yeah, this is all toxic stuff, and they will be able to... Yeah, this flyer will be a problem, for sure. Sadly, my 6-drop isn't the reach kind now, but... I guess I have to ramp this thing into 3 oil, but it might be a little bit too late. Let's see what they have. I'm not really in a position to raise them. Imagine if they were on the play. I would be in the ropes here. Okay, I can at least trade with that guy. No, I can't, because this guy... it will be a 5-5. Man, I'm so happy they did choose to, you know... to be on the draw, but it's still not going to help. Because I'm taking here both too much damage and poison. I needed my early drops. Imagine if I had my 2, you know, red burn spells that kill toxic creatures easily. Oh well. So I go to what, 9 and how many? 6 poison. Yeah. Well, there is a battle chair that can block this guy, but the problem is the flyer. I actually drew the wrong 6-drops in here. I needed the other kind that has reach. But let's still continue here. Because I'm gonna go to 7. Yeah, I'm gonna lose to them proliferating for sure. Because I can do the thing with Silex before I die to the Raptor. And I would actually lose my own Atlas, but that's the trade I have to make. Although it is so far my only red source. That can be annoying. Well, this is a 3-drop. I don't have a ways to proliferate myself to make this thing tick faster. Okay. That's going to seal the deal. I have to... Yeah, I will have to jump block the atrocity now. Yeah, otherwise I die to poison. Okay. I think I have seen enough. They will attack with everything. I go to 10 poison unless I jump block the atrocity, and then of course I have no way to beat them. So these hex gold slashes, these are actual gold in this matchup. I just want to draw them. Well, I saw one flyer now. The disruption can be annoying. They might have more of those, unless they drew the same single copy in both games. The Raptor is killable with this thing. Maybe. Maybe the Silex is a little bit unreliable now. They have ways to deal with it. I'm gonna use the canopy. It's gonna find a target. So, yeah. At least I will be on the play. Although I was on the play in the previous game too, thanks to the opponent being generous. But looking at their curve, it would have been a nightmare to beat that without being on the play. I mean, I still lost, but I would have lost even more. Now this is an 18 land deck starting hand, and this isn't even a forest. Not that I would keep. Although imagine one of the, well, of course now that I have 6 spells, I have a curve out, but still, I can actually say that any 2 of these cards, I mean any 2, even these 2 drops or the 1, yeah, just turn them into forests, and this is a great hand. Okay, I still get a decent one, so I can get one of the 6 drops away, and kind of conveniently I can shuffle it back to my deck because I am interested in drawing them again later on. Opponent also mulligan, so that's nice. But I have a 2-drop creature and a hex gold slash now, so that allows me to at least interact with their early board, especially if they have the green-white 2-drop, which is a really good card. This thing, pumps later in the game. Not too relevant in this deck, maybe. They get a land. But I guess it can give my tramplers an extra bit of power. Okay, land is not bad, especially when it's the kind that can be cast in for a card when I don't need it anymore. Basilisk. I might just kill that. I could draw a 4-drop. Okay, let's just use this now, just in case I draw a 4-drop. I'm not gonna sack any lands now. Of course, I'm on my way to 6. But I would rather draw a spell for the next turn, but that, there's like 1, 3, 7, 11 lands left in the deck, so there is a not too small chance to draw still a land here. Yeah, that thing is an instant, but oh well. Yeah, that's a bit sad. Missing out the play here because I really could have used, any kind of play. Even if it's a removal spell, which I wouldn't be using on these things, I could use it on whatever they're gonna play now. At least this thing has reach, so if they... Okay, they can... Yeah, they can add, deal 1 poison counter to me now, but I mean, this is just a 2-2 vigilance from now on. I'm not too worried about the 2-2. At least after, if I keep drawing lands, I can actually start cracking those, those things that draw me cards. So this activation is 3 mana, remove oil on sorcery speed only. This is mostly a 2-drop here. But of course it's a nice 2-drop that has, application later in the game too. So now if they pacify this thing, I can actually have the canopy on it. Sadly this is a sorcery, it would be very nice if it was a... instant. Alright, so do I want to actually kill one of those mites now? Trading with them? Because it's not like this is gonna die now, unless I happen to draw exactly a removal spell. Yeah, I guess it's time to do this. I will have the 6-5 on the next turn as a blocker. Anyway, might as well first do this. Okay, that's not bad. Let's see if they have another point of removal. If they... I can proliferate. Well, no. Sadly, no vigilance. So let's see if they can deal with it. If they can deal with it, I will be in trouble. But it seems like they're cracking one of the lands now. At least my sideboard card was really, happened in a really good spot here. Please don't kill it right away. Okay, they can get the Spore Singer back. That's a good one because they can actually force a trade on the... Well, not force a trade. I can take the damage and poison here. But they can make this guy into a, 5-6. And actually it will be a 6-7, so I can't even block it without losing my guy. Okay, the spawning is decent. Can I... No, I don't have mana for also to crack these things, so let's not do that right now. I'll still play the land, because when you crack your lands you wanna have your land drops available. Now, am I supposed to... I mean, why would I play these first if I'm planning about an attack here? Now this can attack for free, 5, yeah. I'm gonna make them use the 2-2 right now. Because the Attendant is a 4-5 attacker thanks to the Singer here. So I'm gonna have to take the... Okay, so they actually drew the removal, so this is now very bad. I need more of my 6-drops. Oh, they chose not to... Oh my god, opponent, what are you doing? That's insane. They just missed out that they have a free attack with the Attendant there. I mean, even if it's just a 3-4, I don't know. Thanks, opponent, for giving me more chances here. Sadly, they are not corrupted, so I can't make them lose life with this thing. I mean, they could have just attacked with the Attendant there. Okay, they can do that. I mean, that's not so good. That deals less damage. Why would they attack with a 2-2? Okay, what am I missing here now? I don't think I'm missing anything. They just want to feed this guy. I am corrupted now, but they are top decking, but they do have one land still. That attack with the 2-2 was making no sense. Okay, I should actually... Yeah, the game, is friendly enough to allow using this ability. Because of course you need to do this tapping to get the oil going on. Okay, well this is now the 18 land deck, showing what can happen. But I have drawn 2 extra cards. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. That's 10 lands I've drawn. I have 8 more left and 14 spells. Alright, so this can untap. But of course it will just be blocked with the Death Toucher, so I don't think it's even worth it. Although if the Death Toucher attacks, it's gonna be a 2-4. Well, I mean, I can still block the 2-4 with the 4-3. Please don't, opponent, draw any more removal. Now, to be fair, they have also had these, card drawing lands, so it's not like they've been somehow lucky in terms of number of spells drawn. That's a good one for them for sure. I'm on the backhand until I draw one of my 6-drops. I have drawn one of them, but I can still draw. I have 3 more of them left in the deck. Okay, now they found that they can actually make that into a 4-5 attacker. This Slaughter Singer, that is actually just really good. I think I just have to double block with, so I lose my Mantis. I take poison from the Basilisk, but that that's not such a big deal. I do have one more Hex Gold Slash. I have the deal 3 damage, and I have the deal 5 damage spell too. And I have the 3 6 drops, so that's at least 6 cards that are tremendously impactful. Problem with the Death Toucher is though that when I double block it, but man, then they have this thing too. This will be a 6-7 on the next turn. Ugh. But yeah, because this will be a 3-3 on the next turn when I'm blocking. It will get the 3rd oil counter. Problem is that they can use the Steward here. But if I now... Because I'm thinking about just blocking the Basilisk after all, taking 4 here. I can double block this, but then I lose the 4-3, and I don't have a 4 power creature to block this guy. I think I simply need to draw something. I'm not losing... I'm losing if I don't draw something. It has to be something impactful, like one of the removal spells I said to get rid of the Singer. Or... or, you know, a big creature or something like that. If I draw a land, I think I will just lose the game no matter how do I block. So I have to assume... I have to play in a way that if I draw something, because I think the more beneficial block is the Attendant here right now. Although this will be a 6 toughness Death Toucher. No, that's actually wrong. I have to do it like this, because Death Toucher I cannot block with multiple creatures. I lose them all. Yeah. Very sad. I wish I had, you know, one more counter on this, so I could have double blocked the 4-5 right now on this turn. Green has a way to return permanent spells. That's why I'm getting rid of this, the pacifism, and then that thing. That's a little bit too late. I wish I had that earlier. I can eat the altar, sorry, the Atlas, and I can kill. I mean, I wish I had a way to kill both the Singer and the Steward. Because that would allow me to actually stabilize. Although I think it's enough to kill the Steward. Because this is only +1/+1. Although this is a +2/+2, and even if this is... But I'm also at 7. Well, I can kill the 1/1/2. So I'm gonna kill the 1/1 and... either the Steward or the Singer. I guess the Steward is still the better one to kill. Maybe. I can double block this guy. Okay. And I'm at 7, so I'm not... If they like attack with everything, I'm not going to die. And maybe they don't realize that when I tap the Scrap Gorger, I can actually, you know, make it into a 3-3. Okay, now they use their final land. They still have, of course, 2 fresh cards in the hand. Please, no interaction. Well, they have a spell because they have a priority now. Hopefully it's just a creature. A small creature, please. Not a flyer. I'm not asking much, am I? No, that's... I mean, that's it then. That's it then, I lose to the Attendant. Well, at least they feed... Yeah, well, I mean, I'm gonna go to 1 life. So if I now... The attack with the Slaughter Singer is, of course, a mistake. It's, of course, a mistake, but, I mean, it's not... I'm gonna be at 1... Well, if I draw a spell, a creature, or removal, you know... then it will work still. But that was a good draw. I mean, they draw a lot of their interaction. I need to draw a point of interaction too now. Land, and I'll just lose. That is 2 blockers. So I am in the game. I might even attack with the haster. but I don't think it's really worth it, because then they get force. You know, I can jump block the 3-4. Well, I mean, I guess I would be trading. I can jump block the 3-4 and I can eat the 2-2. And then if they do choose not to attack with the 2-2, I can obviously just double block the attendant. So actually, I'm gonna feel lucky here. I need to, of course, win before they find a way to deal me. You know, they can have to draw a flyer or something. And I should have, of course, attacked first, but they were never gonna block there. So now I know I'm losing to a lot of things, but I'm also losing if I just play too safely here. Okay, well, that's it. That was a good draw. And if I left this guy to block, yeah, this would have been a 6-7. Yeah, I would have still in practice lost, because 6-7 I can't kill it. They attack with both. I have to put 6-6 on front of it just to not die to trample, and I have to jump block this. So I lose both of my 3. I lose my board. They lose nothing. Effectively, I will lose the game. Okay, so they got their, you know, they got their stuff. I drew only one of my 6 drops in my top 50% cards, so that was it. Alright, so a little bit disappointing there. The opponent had, I had, you know, ways to save the situation, but they had just sadly the interaction there. All the interaction there, and they even made a mistake. You know, they attacked with the 2-2 into my 3-3. They basically lost it for no reason. But it didn't help me. They still drew the skull bomb there. Okay, so I should play this first, because then I can use the scrap coacher to still make this guy into a 3-3. Because this cares about either power or toughness being greater for the creature that enters the battlefield. Okay, let's see if this is gonna work. I at least have the Mantis, so let's say they counter this. The Mantis will take care of growing the adaptive next turn. Or they can just kill that guy. That's gonna work very well. Sad. That would have been, you know, pretty amazing. My 1-drop would have been a 4-4 on turn 4, because this would have made it into a 3-3. This makes it into a 4-4. That's just how the kind of potential this adaptive has. But not this time. Okay, now also the opponent having an 0-3 here, making I have no blocks. And now they have this guy, which I cannot kill with the Hex Gold Slash, because it's not a toxic creature. So I am in very big trouble here. I wonder if I should discard 2 cards. Yeah, this becomes just an indestructible guy, and then it's, I mean, how can I red green deck deal with the indestructible thing? I don't think this set even has. Well, maybe there's a red spell that makes the creature lose indestructible, but this is pretty much this winning the game for them. I can't attack. Of course, discarding 2 cards is a lot, but they can do it. Problem is, I can't even block it and then try to burn it. I'm with the 2-2 and try to burn it, because I can't burn it when they have mana up. And if I block with jump block with this thing, they are not gonna, you know, tap out. They only need 1 generic mana and 2 cards in their hand. Yeah, that rare is gonna, yeah, this is gonna be game over, I think. But this is a mythic rare, sorry, well, this is a mythic rare, but I mean, this is a bomb rare format. This really is, so it's just, I mean, I guess my only chance here is that if the opponent, you know, somehow messes up. Maybe they completely tap out and I draw my you know, any other burn spell, because I can double burn this, or with the 5 mana spell I can just kill it outright. But I mean, they are gonna leave mana up now. I don't think I can really raise them that easily. Such an amazing cycle of cards, and red-green is just the worst combination to play against the indestructible stuff. Black has a... Oh, this is actually the Rebel Salvo. This is... Yeah, so this says that permanent loses indestructible until end of turn. Okay. Well, things are really messed up regardless. So now I can hope that they use their final cards. They do have a card draw land though. Yeah, I mean, I just have to take 5 here. No, well, no, not necessarily actually, because of course my creature is a 6/6. So it can block a 5/4. Let's see if they have more good stuff. Now this is good removal there. And a great bomb rare. This is not an easy matchup. If the previous ones were... I mean, of course I lost the previous one, but the opponent still made some mistakes in there. Okay, I mean, this is not so bad. If they don't have a block on the 6/6, they're gonna have something. Maybe it's just a bounce spell though. The equipment still stays. I can make this guy into a 10/9 trampler. They can tap it, sure. It's been tapped now. No attacks, no attacks. They have a crazy card there. Okay. Please don't counter it. I'll get rid of my expanse. I have nothing, I have no way to bring back stuff from my graveyard, because I didn't include the one card in my main deck. So they're gonna get rid of... Okay, there was a spell there, even a flyer. The flyer is not so good against this guy though. So I can jump block this. This doesn't have trample. And I can actually attack past that guy because of my this battle chair thing. That's quite funny. Now they actually have only 8 power here. Even have this guy, but I don't even need it right now because I can move around the... I can actually just kill the Prowler too. But now, let's make this guy into a huge thing. Am I actually going to... I mean, if they have nothing in their hand, this is... They can prevent, of course, 4 of this damage, but this trample here will be... I'm still gonna deal 6 to them. Wow. I mean... I just said that red-green has difficulties against indestructible stuff, but then again, if you have a 10/9 trampler, maybe it's not such a big deal. Okay, they get another indestructible counter here, by the way, if they want to. It doesn't do anything, but it's quite funny. Do I even care about that? Now 1 mana spell, what that could be. I think it's time to first of all just to... draw a card, see what happens. I can still use the Steward if I want. Stalker. Is it time to use the Steward? Because I kinda don't need to. It's only +2 damage, that's all it does right now. Because they have 8 power. That's not enough to deal with the Engulfer. And of course I have their slash. So let's deal them additional 6 damage now. Okay, they sacrificed the Seer, which makes sense. To prevent 3 of the damage. I can do this, and end of turn I can maybe... I don't think there's any reason to crack the furnace quite yet. I do have the mana for the Hex Gold Slash with the Scrap Gorger anyway, but... Okay, they do that. But maybe they like kill this thing and then I wanna keep the mana up for this. Okay, they discarded that guy. Yeah, my Silvok Battle Chair and Engulfer, that's a combination that does some work now. I actually should use this guy too. Just to get rid of, I don't know what's relevant in this format. Maybe they can get the sorcery back with those colors. Now they are going to triple block. I can make it into 11 toughness, which is still not enough, but it is when I kill the Prowler or try to kill the Prowler. This doesn't keep trample, does it? No. Because of course I have, plans involving attacking with everything. But I don't like the fact they have 2 open mana. That I don't like. And they have this activation still up, so I mean they have the mana for this and cards in hand, so I don't know if they have an actual spell or not. I think I'm going to now go for this. Because the biggest problem they might have is a bounce spell. But I mean, it doesn't really prevent me from killing the Chrome Prowler with the Hex Code Slash. Okay, that's fine. No, I don't have to do it. Unless they're gonna deal some damage to this guy. Well, I don't know. Okay then. Spawning. Because of course now I have a way to. But it doesn't have toxic, that's only 2. What are they thinking? That's not a toxic creature, is it? What happened? Oh, they have a Solfim. Yeah, this has abilities beyond the... yeah. Abilities beyond the, It doubles every non-combat damage. But it doesn't matter here. So yeah, as you can see, every source that's a non-combat damage. Every source dealing non-combat damage to my stuff will be doubled. So this was 4 damage. But of course they are down to 3, and I can move this around, and I'll just win through this guy. Huh. But yeah, there is in this format there's a red solution to indestructible stuff. That is nice. That is nice that they have some tools to fight the mythic race, because every color has a cycle. There's a cycle of mythic race. So every color has access to indestructible stuff. Okay, so Gleeful Demolition, or how many flyers I saw? 2 of these guys. So I could take the excuse me. Now I didn't see any really artifacts worth killing. They have multiple Hex Code Slashes, by the way. They are pretty good against stuff like Tyrannax, Atrocity. Maybe I'm supposed to even play like an All-Goat Troll instead. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, there's not much I can do about the indestructible stuff, other than having these very expensive guys here. Silex, nope. Not sure about the Silex in this matchup. I think I'll take one of the canopies, because I saw 2 of those 5-drop flyers here. Maybe I'm gonna have that, not have the Silex. And maybe not play the Troll. I could replace it with the Atrocity, but... kind of like the Toxic Tree, because I have ways to benefit from opponent being corrupted, so... Fine, I'll just do it like this. I really thought I was gonna lose that game But once they get the indestructible counter, but don't underestimate the battle chair. And I have two of these guys. Now this is of course a very risky hand, but I believe I'm gonna keep it. I have, after all, an 18 land deck. Not only that, but I also have a 2-drop that adds mana, and I have the 3-drop artifact that adds mana. So actually 50% of my deck is able to produce mana. And I have a 3-drop here. But of course if I don't draw my lands it's gonna be horrible, but I have so many lands in the deck. Or ways to... well, also 15 lands and 2 other cards that produce mana. Okay, and I even got a 2-drop here. So they can start doing a little bit of damage with that guy. I'll survive. Okay, that's a good one, but... well, let's attack first. Maybe they wanna draw a card. They don't. I think because I have no land here, I'm gonna just play this. It would be nice to deal them 1 point of poison damage, because this cares about them being corrupted, but I have also the haster, which immediately corrupts them. If I draw land, and if they have no answer, well, they can always jump block it, but... well, let's see what they play, but let's see what I draw. I can always play the haster 4-drop myself. Okay, they have... well, that's all I really have here. Okay, what is their play for this turn? Do they have no play here whatsoever? What? No. And they didn't even have the, you know, the mythic rare, which is really good for me. Yeah, that's not really... that's not how they're gonna win this game. Especially if I draw a land now. That has vigilance, that should attack always. Okay, well the slash is... no, annoyingly useless, but I can still attack for 2 here. I guess I could, you know... the 1/1 isn't doing much here, and it takes the jump block away from them. Yeah, let them block the 1/1. I mean, the 1/1 was a free in the same way as the card that they will be drawing here is free. I do want to draw. Actually, it's also funny. I kept Zoolander, yes, but I have drawn but 5 cards. One of them was a land. At least one of them was the Phyrexia Atlas. I guess they have a slash on the Basilisk now. Although, actually, this Steward might be, you know, more problemsome. Now, that's 1 slash away that would have killed this atrocity, hopefully. No, they do leave mana up for that thing, though. I believe they have another slash too, but... let's see if I'm just gonna kill it with the Molten Rebuke. Oh, that's all assuming I might even have a land draw here, but... this was, again, a lot of draws without the land. Come on. Yeah, this can just trade with my thing, so let's do the Rebuke. Shouldn't be anything that they can do with 1 red. And okay, they didn't really have priority stop, so they don't have an Hex Gold slash here. But yeah, still, it would have just... they would have blocked with the atrocity. I'd prefer them to commit to some other... okay, what's this? Why don't they... I don't understand. They have 4 cards in their hand. Has to be like a counter spell or something. Maybe they now drew a Hex Gold slash. Ah, just a Prowler. So do I care about trading with that guy? It's killable with my slash, so... and this has a very useful ability. But then again, I'm actually willing to push these trades. I don't think I have time to use this 3-mana activation anytime soon, given my, you know, all the stuff I have going on here. I think they might have another of these mesmerizing doses here. Okay, just a Skull Bomb. Not really great against Haster. It is great against the Battle Chair token, so but I have the Engulfer too. Okay, that works too. But I'm happy they use this now, not when I have the Battle Chair here. Okay, not much else than just do this. No point playing the token here. When they have the bounce available, they will bounce the Engulfer, of course, but I guess I'll then play the... battle chair in that case. So they had a lot of this interaction there. Sadly, I wasn't able to corrupt them because the Phyrexian Atlas would have just killed them if this got somehow through. Okay, so... I mean, this is a 6-6, this is a 6-5. Fine, let's do this. Hopefully they don't have another of those molten things. Rebuke. Oh, well, that's a problem. But then again, I have a reach guy on that thing. more of those. They are also gonna go to 3 here if they don't block. But they can make a lot of goblin tokens. Sadly for them, these guys trample. So any non-creature they play will be, of course, giving them a bunch of goblins. Unstoppable token. This makes this into a 5-3. What the heck? Alright. I mean, this is not a very good card actually. This is an 8 mana 7-5. That's, probably making some of your other creatures into smaller ones. This is, and it's just, too unplayable. And this thing is forced to attack, so if they wanted to play this guy, they should have at least gone, first and do this in the post-combat main phase. Not attack, post-combat main phase do this. But of course I will have just, 12 points of trample versus 8 points of toughness, so I was winning without the help of these other guys. Alright, so that was interesting event in the sense that the first round opponent really, wasn't maybe the toughest opposition there can be, but the second round opponent had, of course, a very good deck, and despite making maybe a couple of misplays, did end up winning the match. The third round opponent, maybe the game 2 wasn't that amazing, but what was amazing was the game 1 where they had the red indestructible 5-4, and I just had a battle chair on an engulfer which said that I don't care about your 5-4 indestructible things, I can still attack through it, and also the opponent, I had enough jump block so they couldn't really pressure my life total with their guy. So that was pretty fantastic game there. And these things go very late in the draft. So I think I'm a little, that's also because I'm a Timmy, I'm a Spike of course, but I'm also a Timmy if you know the player psychographics, so I like big creatures, big effects. But of course I wouldn't like it if it wasn't efficient. So this is the kind of my style of gameplay. Big trampler is very fun stuff, and if these things keep going late in the draft, I could see this archetype being quite playable, because of course the Phyrexian Atlas also goes quite late, as it should. It's not that good of a card. But there's also the green 1-drop that can accelerate your mana, which you have to pick actually quite high, I believe, because the oil deck drafters are very much interested in that. But there are ways to, ramp up a little bit, to maybe play these 6-drops earlier. Or not only that, but also if you get stuck like at 5 lands, it's horrible to keep a 6-drop in your hand. But if you have other cards, non-land cards that add mana, it's not so bad. So I'm not going to abandon this archetype, even though I didn't trophy. Of course, 2-1 is still an acceptable result in a traditional draft, like I always say. But you of course need these, cheap interaction and still defensive plays. But stuff like Copper Longlegs, pretty decent defensive early drop, and Icarus Pit Basilisk, also a common, very nice defensive early drop. And I think this could work with most color combinations. I mean, when green is your main color, you can combine it with, I believe, red, black. I guess blue and white might work too. But yeah, that was at least something a little bit different than what I've seen the early impressions of the formats being, what I have seen some discussions and other content creators talking that this is a very fast format, and it is, of course, but in my opinion, there hasn't been a slow format in ages. Now, no matter what format in the last couple of years you are talking about, you always need to have, in my opinion, a healthy amount of 2-drops and early game interaction. I mean, either of those two. Otherwise, you are just gonna be in trouble. There hasn't been, like, even the Neon Dynasty, which was so value-filled format, there were aggressive archetypes. You were supposed to play early game cards there to keep in the game. So, yeah, it's a fast format, but to me, it's nothing new. The funny thing is that you might be able to, get this kind of stuff still going on if you just have the defensive plays available. All right, well, that was it for this draft. I will see you in the next one. Let's claim the prize here. And one more thing. I talked earlier that I did play a few premier drafts. I played 4 of them total to get to platinum rank. And then I have no plans to play any premier drafts this month anymore. I had one draft, actually first of them was an BO3, so I just didn't win anything. It was a black-green deck. I knew when I was deck building that it's not really very good. I had 2 very good of those black uncommon removal spells, the -4/-4. And then, an assortment of black and green creatures. BO3 it was of course disappointing because I never drew the removal spells, but also it wasn't a very good deck. Then I had a 4/3 with the Azorius artifact deck, and it was a deck that had 17 or so artifacts. I had 3 of those blue artifact 3-drops that, are just artifacts, but when another artifact enters the battlefield, it becomes a 4/4 until end of turn. That was 4/3 draft, and I was really kind of positively surprised how the archetype worked. I have now some faith in the blue-white archetype, like here. I'm willing to try that in future too. There's a lot of common support for it, and there's some nice uncommon support. So if you get a little bit of the uncommon support, that's definitely a color combination and the archetype to go for. But that wasn't. Those were the first ones, and then the last 2 premier drafts I made, they were both red-white for mirrored-in equipment decks. The first one was 7 wins, 0 losses. The second one was 7 wins, 2 losses, and it was just crazy. So because the archetype was so open, in the second one of the drafts, I had 3 of those golden uncommons, the red-white, for mirrored in 3-drop artifact that gives the creature double strike, and of course a 3-mana double striker is already very good. I had 3 of them, and then of course you can move it around. You have some tricks, so that was a really good. Successful run of two successful runs with that archetype. So I'm hoping to be able to showcase the archetype in these best of 3 drafts to you guys too. I think it is very, very good one. So that was it for my premier drafts. I didn't record them, like I said, because I had basically no voice then. I'm still having a little bit of a after sickness, but I'm mostly healthy now. So hopefully I will stay healthy for the duration of the format now. And yeah, traditional drafts coming up. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.